Blitzers, Nerf Clan, welcome back to the channel. We have two awesome games today. First featuring the King of London in his Rhm Borsig, and then second, the gentleman driving VK100. What an ending on that one. And first of all, we got the King of London, who is, I think, the king of RNGesus. He is one of these players, London is, that every one of his masteries is a combination of pure and utter luck combined with terrific skill. And there is a perfect example of that. He pounds that Tiger P into the Borsig and bounces a shot from a Tiger P, which actually has a very good cannon and pen, probably with the tip of his cannon. So this one is very exciting, and we'll talk a little bit about the Borsig as we do. As you guys know, this tank, we featured a lot because Rebel has mastered it 40 plus times and is super unicum in it. But right away, if you're looking at the mini map, we're trying to figure out the strategy here on Canal. They're going to the A cap, or I should say, the King of London is, along with his. We have a new feeder clan nerfed player who's with him as well, and they're kind of going to the A area, which is I rarely go here, but I rarely play Borsigs as well. So for a Borsig, is not a bad place to go. But King plays it relatively aggressively. They found two guys over there with him, and they were able to clear those two, the SU-130 and the Tiger P. And now, however, they find themselves, and what I always find myself when I go here is all alone looking for someone to shoot. And the problem for that with a Borsig is you're not a tank you can handle one-on-ones or one-on-twos. Of course, the King of London ends up winning a 1-on-3, I believe. Maybe it's a 1-on-4, I can't recall. You'll see it in a minute. So he proves me wrong yet again. But nonetheless, he gets into the more classical position up here of sniping. I mean, as you guys know, the Borsig has horrid, in my opinion, dispersion in shot velocity. That's what you get for the big alpha and tier 8 and the rotating turret. And London is trying to get some shots here, but clearly it's already a 3-on-2. You know, the Kid 48 is our, the Pro Kid 48 is his tune mate here from Nerfed 2, and he is trying to help, also in a Borsig, he's trying to help King out, but it's now a 2-on-4. The unfortunate push to this side of the map in the isolation with it created an environment where everyone else just got killed. So now they're in a very, very challenging position of trying to carry with two Borsigs versus, as you can see, a light, a medium, and two TDs. Just not the ideal combination when facing something like this. But nonetheless, the Type 59 Ding, a great tank in my opinion, one of my favorites, comes over and look at that AP roll, 800 off the front of the Type 59. That was probably the second most important shot of the match. The Pro Kid clears the Type 59 with a beautiful shot, and that was also an absolute clutch shot because that guy alone could have done a tremendous amount of damage, and he is a very good player as well. Not that good, he's a reroll, but a good player, solid player who probably would have been able to really make a difference here, but he was cleared. So now we're down to an ISU 152, SU 122 44, and an FV 301. And as you can see, they are all full health. King ends up with more than 5,000 damage here, and he's only at 2,800 so far. So the 301 comes over and he's starting to cause all kinds of problems, but he is focusing on the Pro Kid, leaving King alone. King makes a critical error there and does not scope his shot in. King, you need to scope your shots in. Had he done that, he would have realized the critical error of the Borsig is that the turret rotation speed is not great. Obviously, it's got a rotating turret, which is a plus for any TD. But nonetheless, here comes the game all summed up into one. He switches to HE, lines up the side shot of the FE301, shoots him above the track so as not to get splashed, and hits him with 948 damage. Incredible shot, King, and that's kind of King summarized. Kind of a mediocre shot followed up with a brilliant shot. King, well done, buddy. I'm impressed. Now, he still has two tanks to play with here. He's got an SU-122 and an ISU-152. I will spoil and let you know that the ISU-152 is AFK. So King did not know that, of course, at this stage, but it explained how he was able to survive so long. But King still has to clear this SU-122, and he is very possibly a one-shot. He gets him in a beautiful shot there. Very little gun depression on the Borsig, but he uses however he does. RNGesus is on his side. And I'm going to speed the rest of this up because it is truly, only this happens to the King of London. Never in my life, I think I've had one mastery, out of 160 or odd masteries where I had an AFK at the end. And I remember that one. But I think the rest of them have come through fighting through. However, the King of London has a way. And of course, what does he do? He finds a fully loaded ISU sitting there AFK. Now, a warning, and I'm going to use this as a public service announcement, a PSA. The shenanigans that goes on here with King shooting in the air and King and the pro kid talking some well-deserved smack to the opposition could have all ended if this guy woke up right after King shoots the second time in the air, turned around and cleared him. But the King of London has luck on his side. Of course, he starts ramming the ISU and he clears him here. So all around, as you guys saw, terrific game by the King of London. He did earn it. Maybe all but the ending was terrific. And 5,053 damage, 1287 base, 3 frags. You can see the London and the Pro Kid there. Pro Kid, thanks for joining us. Nerfed Feeder is a new thing, and we're excited to have players join that as well. And finally here, I would just echo the fact that the Borsig is one hell of a difficult tank to come back from as 1 versus 3 or 1 versus even 2. Now switching gears, we are moving to the world of the heavies of VK100, driven by Gentleman, new player to our clan. And he's driving what I call the Hippo, the VK100p, super heavy German tier 8. He's got the, I think it's this man's best friend camo, which is fantastic camo. I have that on my Hellcat because I think it's funny that you put that on a cat. Anyway, so he is driving to the seaside of this lovely map here of Rockfield, and he is going to go to the place where I totally think that is worth going. However, as you see, he unfortunately had an idiot in, I believe it was a bulldog, and bitching at the heavies of why they're going to this side, which is definitely the side to go on except for tourneys. And he also didn't realize the fact that Gentleman and was tuning with a gentleman from Rain, so clearly they knew what they were doing, yet these guys still think they know better. Anyway, it is what it is in the world of tank splits. So nonetheless, Gentleman pushes up here. He's pushing up there, and he quickly sees the Chimera and some other tanks, but their team is also split mainly around the cap, which is just kind of an odd pairing with a few of the guys here where the C cap normally is. So Gentleman pushes up on them, trying to get some side shots into them. There is an HE shot for 637 in the side of the Progetto, and that was well played. Very, very good shot. Put a lot of damage into that Progetto. And you can see Gentleman is trying to push on these meds because he knows if he can get some damage on these meds, it'll make the game more meaningful. And it's already a 5-on-7, so things are not exactly going great for our hard-working tankers. But the VK100 benefits from having nowadays, after the buffing not that long ago, some terrific hit points. So you can see Gentleman is conserving that well. He's got a ton left. He avoids a shot by that Chimera, which I think is fantastic. Because that would have done it. And his tune mate in the Lorraine is heading over on the Centurion. I played the Lorraine last night. What a tricky tank, but man, that thing can sure haul ass. It has got just terrific speed and terrible armor. What a strange little tank it is. There's a Tiger 1 straight ahead, which, Tigers nowadays are terrific tanks. Are basically like a tier 8 medium. So Gentleman has to kind of work on both, and I think it was a really smart play here of hitting the Tiger, because the Tiger is going to back up when he gets hit. It's just a natural reflex almost. Doesn't back up that much, but he backs up enough, and he takes a hit a little from the Centurion, 178. He can take those all day, and he's got to get off and clear that scent. He doesn't want to be fighting a two-fronted, on two fronts here. Clears the scent easily, takes a shot, couple of hits on the Tiger, but still about 1,000 hit points left. He bounces that one. He's, by the way, at 2-on-3 right now. With his tune mate from Rain trying to figure it out. Unfortunately gets cleared by the Tiger 2, leaving Gentleman with a 1 versus 2, and he's facing a VK100p, who you'll see is completely full health. I don't know exactly what the hell the guy was doing this entire time, but Gentleman will encounter him. And you can see what is really smart. He's resetting his camo and he's getting position. He knows they're coming. He wants to see if he can get a shot over that rock where only his turret's exposed, leaving the giant body of the super heavy, alone. And I think when you're in this position and you're getting ready for that kind of fight, that's the ideal situation. He's also got the adrenaline with 40 seconds away. Why not wait? Why not? Now, he sees a Blaze coming. Blaze got 450. hit point. He should be able to clear him. The alpha on this tank is 460. Unfortunately, that does not happen. A little bit of RNG, not Jesus, bad RNG. But nonetheless, he got him down to 23 hit points. And there is the VK100p. Now, their VK100p is not a smart player. Keeping this Blaze alive would have meant the difference in the game. However, he lets beautiful shot there by Gentleman. He lets that go clear him. But now you realize, look at the hit point differential, and it's only going to get worse. 1,035 odd versus 1,600, and unfortunately, he gets unlucky with this shot right there. And this guy is a little bit of a noob, but he just, I don't even know how that landed, but he lands a shot there. So massive hit. We got 1,000 HP damage differential between the two. I pause that so we can look at that. 1,656 versus just 535. I, watching this, cannot figure out how he pulled this off, but there it starts. Terrific hat shot by Gentleman. Look at that beautiful hole there. And you can tell that their player just could not understand where to pin. He tries to shoot, I think, the turret, with Gentleman blocked with his cannon, quickly gets another shot into them. The adrenaline's already gone, but he is evening this up. Still a big differential here. And the good news is for him, for Gentleman, is 535 means he can take one shot. Should mean you can take one shot. And that is a good relief because you kind of know where you are. Smacks him once again right in the turret. Our friend here, Amigo on the other side, doesn't know what he's doing. Misses his shot. Gentleman now can take a shot, and he's not going to get HE, so he can take a shot even in the rear. He gets some distance between him. Aims true, was thinking the guy would move forward. He didn't, still hits him with a 300. He actually had a max roll on that one. Would have cleared him pretty much no matter what. Yep, Pro is right. Gentlemen, that was a beautiful game. Terrific done. 1492 base, 5307 damage. The player against him was not a good player, but that didn't matter. I think most people would have struggled tremendously here. I think that's about as well as you can use the big body of the VK100 to maneuver it around, block shots, get shots. I didn't look at damage blocked, but it was extremely high as well. I should have probably looked at that, but you know, it was a terrific game. Rewind and have a look. Thanks for joining, for sending the video, joining our clan, gentlemen. Terrific games. If you enjoy this type of games, etc., please subscribe to our channel.